My name is Shelley Deane and I work with Brehon Advisory, and we work with refugee children. We provide bilingual Arabic and English books for refugee children. We work on trying to help children who are in informal education have access to materials that are about refugees, talk about their experiences and help the children process issues around psychosocial trauma, nightmares, and how to process and think about what does war mean, how does war work, and help unpuzzle what they're in the middle of and what they're experiencing. So far to date we've produced 50,000 books and distributed them across the Middle East, Lebanon, Jordan, Greece, Ireland, Britain, Denmark. We've distributed them with the UN peacekeepers in South Lebanon, for example. They're authorised for all public schools in Lebanon, which is really good, so we can give them to everybody. They're all given away, they're never sold, and we give them with trauma teddies. So we have the books, and the children get trauma teddies with the books. So there's a trauma teddy. And the trauma teddies are knit by lovely ladies across Britain and Ireland, and we combine them with the books and give the children an opportunity to be able to sort of reconnect with what it is to be a child when they grow up far too fast. I suppose the idea behind the bilingual Arabic-English books, the trauma teddy books, was to make sure that every refugee child, regardless of where they find themselves, has the same shared experience in terms of access to literacy, language and support in terms of education. We find that the books work very well with children who have nightmares or traumatized or a bit worried and unsure, and they're used by people like the Danish Red Cross and all of the smaller NGOs and organizations across Lebanon, Jordan and Lesbos, Greece, working with children. So we give them everywhere, we don't discriminate, there's no reference to politics or religion in any of the books. They're just about giving children a space. When they have no physical space that's their own, they can lose themselves in the books as and when, and it helps them with the tricky things like learning English and Arabic and learning how to do those things without formal education often. These are two of our three books. So this is Salim. He's the actor in the books. He's the little boy, and in this book he goes to a refugee camp and suffers a terrible nightmare, and they take him to a counsellor who helps him with his worries and fears, and over time and talking to the counsellor, he's not afraid anymore and he doesn't have nightmares anymore. And when he grows up and goes back to Syria, he becomes a counsellor and he gives his trauma teddy Brave to another refugee child. In the second book, this is an art therapy book, and it helps children with psychosocial trauma as well, so they can draw their worries and fears. Salim is in another country and he goes on a play date with a child from the other country, and they talk about how they all drink tea but a little bit differently, so it's fun. It's about pistachio ice cream and having fun. But again, it's in English, it's in Arabic, and you can use the books to draw and help the children process and discuss, and gives them a vehicle to be able to talk about how they feel, what they're worried about, where their fears and anxieties are. So that's why we do what we do. Brehon Advisory, it sounds really breathy, Brehon Advisory. We're on Twitter and Facebook and all the rest of it, and we have a website, and just ping us, let us know, and if we can help at all, we're happy to help you. We donate the books wherever they go, but we like to deliver them ourselves so we can do what we promise and make sure we know where every book goes and where all the teddies go. But get in touch, Brehon Advisory online, and we'll see what we can do to help.